All right, guys, welcome to the Chokehold Chat. On the exercise bike, rehabbing the knee, so that's why I'm, moving around, rocking. More thoughts on UFC 321. I rewatched the Aspinall Gone round, and I guess I did have kind of a bad take on it. I could see how, in popular opinion, that Gone won that first round. I guess for me, I'm just biased. I believe in Tom Aspinall. I felt like Tom always had the nuclear option, that Tom could always finish the fight if he just got his hands on him. It's kind of like watching Rumble Johnson fight, or watching, Paul Daly, or just, somebody like that, where you're like, well, if he clips him, it's over, and Surreal was doing good, and it just would have been a really good fight to see if we would have got the whole fight. We would have got to learn a lot about Tom. We would have got to see if he has a gas tank, if he can overcome adversity. I was being kind of in my own head about it, because I'm looking at him, and Tom looks like he's having like fun out there, like he's having, just kind of looking for a shot and stuff. He's smiling right before he gets eye poked, giving a high five, spinning, and just like the presence that he had in the cage. I really, P.T. Carroll said a really good thing on Ariel Helwani's show, where he's like, if they would have stopped that fight right then and there, and you could have switched your pick from Tom Aspinall originally to Cyril Gane, would you have? And all of his buddies said no, and I agree. I wouldn't have switched my pick to Cyril. I still had full belief that Aspinall was going to spark him or sub him, or just win a decision. So I don't think that Cyril was winning that bad, but I could see how it is popular opinion that Cyril won the round. However, like I said in the aftermath and stuff, well, I guess I haven't said it, but I don't think that Cyril Gane controls his weapons the right way. I think that he's kind of had the propensity to fight dirty, and he definitely, all of those highlights of him finishing JDS, Derek Lewis, all these guys, he's hitting them in the back of the head, groin shots, eye pokes, like, he commits a lot of fouls. That's no good, man. I don't know what we're going to do moving forward. And I would hate to have to fight somebody like that, because, yeah, dude, like, it's like a John Jones thing, right? Where you're going to get eye poked. And it's just like, control your weapons, dude. Don't poke in the eye, don't foul. Just sucks still. But for the second fight, it makes it way more interesting, because they're going to have to run it back if Tom is healthy. And looks like we're in for like a 5-rounder, or at least 2 rounds or 3 rounds or whatever, right? Of heavyweight action of two guys that are much closer in skill than we thought. Cyril's movement was giving Tom trouble. He couldn't just sit down and crack him like we've seen him do to a lot of the other heavyweights that aren't very athletic, that aren't very mobile. So, yeah, that's good stuff. Just feels weird, man. Just feels weird, this aftermath. For the co-main event, people are talking about Mackenzie Dern possibly fighting Tatiana Suarez next. I think that's a great fight. I like it. I think that the grappling exchanges in that one would be really, really good. And I think that, the division's so shallow anyways, you might as well just go ahead and give Tatiana another crack at it. I guess too, it just depends on the activity and what happens in that Valentina Shevchenko fight versus Zhang. And if Zhang loses, if she's just going to move right back down to strawweight. the third fight down, Umar versus Mario, obviously they're going to want Umar to fight Merab again. I think that's where they're going. And then for Mario, it sucks because I still think that he's one of the best. I still think that he's up there. Depending on if Sean fights Corey or not, you know, maybe they'll give him a Corey, or, you know, maybe the loser of Merab and Piotr. Probably Piotr Jan. But, you know, we'll just see how that kind of shakes out. And then, man, see, I can't stop thinking about the Tom Aspinall stuff. It's like everybody's having these discussions about gloves, about eye pokes, about controlling your weapons and all this stuff, and I keep thinking about bare knuckle fighting. Bare knuckle fighting, there's no eye pokes, you know, or hardly ever. And yeah, it's just like, dude, keep your fist closed, man. You know, the UFC too, just being money hungry, you know, wealth mongers and all this stuff. It's like, give those Onyx gloves a shot. You know, pay Justin Gaethje's coach, pay him all the money that he wants for that patent those gloves. You know, they're far superior, all this stuff. Pay whatever you have to pay to make sure that you can get the rights to a glove that curves inwards. You know, something has to change because we lost the main event. It sucks. People do fouls all the time, dude. MMA fans were just used to it, and it's just, you know, whatever. But I'll have a more in-depth breakdown, and I'm gonna get some better production going here, get a spot set up, all this stuff, and you will be hearing more from me. I just kind of wanted to talk about it a little bit more because, yeah, we've had some time to digest a little more. We've heard some stuff for some other outlets, a lot of stuff from other fighters, but it seems like the consensus is that you can't foul. You can't. It's illegal, right? And anybody who's hating on Tom, I mean, you ever just get like dust in your eye or like dirt? You know, it freaks you out. It's your eyeball. It's like one of the most complex things on your body. You know, very delicate. It's one of your senses. It's horrible to have an eye poke. So anybody who's ragging on Tom, you're crazy. You don't deserve that, and he doesn't deserve that. Yeah. It's not Tom's fault. It's Cyril's fault. He needs to stop fouling people. And hopefully we get the rematch. Hopefully Tom's okay. But we still don't know. Anyways, that's some more of my thoughts on UFC 321. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.